Hi, I'm Christine from Modern Charm Stitchery, and today we are going to be discussing all things English paper piecing and how to make these adorable little hexie flowers. So this is the first in a two-part series where we will discuss everything from your supply list to how to remove these paper templates at the end. So in this first video, we are going to be talking about the materials that you'll need, and there is a link in the comment section below if you need links to any of the items that you see. And we'll also be talking about basting, which is just getting your fabric onto your paper templates. In the follow-up video, we will talk about the stitches that you need to actually English paper piece your templates together and to make these hexies. And so I hope you follow us there after you learn everything you need to know in this video. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the materials that we'll need. We'll start over here with the thread. So you are gonna wanna use the thinnest thread that you have. So I like Aurifil 80 weight, and I have it in several different colors. But the thinner the thread, or the finer the thread, the less likely you are to see the stitches in your flowers. Same with the needles. So these are Milner's needles, size 10. You can use whatever needle you have on hand, but the thinner the needle or the finer the needle, which means the higher the size number, the smaller your stitches will be and the less likely you'll see them. You'll also want to have some flat pins. We'll get there in a minute. If you choose to use do glue basting, which we'll cover, then you're going to need a glue pen. You always want to have some scissors close by, a hole punch. Get there in 1 minute. You are going to need hexagon templates. So for this flower that I'm making, they're 1-inch hexagons, but you can find these in any size. And if you're doing EPP and you're not making a flower, you can find these in other shapes as well. But for today, we're going to use the 1-inch hexagons. And then you'll need some fabric, of course. So when we talk about basting, we are putting the fabric onto a template, just like this. You can thread baste or you can glue baste. So you need to have your fabric cut out, ready to go. So there's several ways you can do it, but for simplicity's sake, for this tutorial, I'm just gonna show you. You could have a scrap of fabric and you'll put your template in the middle, pin it there. And this does not need to be exact because again, we're just basting it. This is just to get the fabric onto the hexie. You're gonna wanna cut, I don't know, have at least 1/4 inch of seam allowance on each side. But again, doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be exact on all sides. So I like to pre-cut my fabric ahead of time, but you can also just kind of cut as you go as I just did here. Okay, so now that I have basted all of these with my glue pen, I'm gonna set them aside and I'm gonna show you how to do some thread basting. So when we're thread basting, it actually doesn't matter what size needle and what thread you use because we're actually not going to see this part when we're totally done. But I'll just use what I have here. So I'm gonna take my template with my hole punched in it and I'm gonna put it right in the center. This time I'm going to use a pin to hold it in place. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of thread. Probably should have thread this before I started. Here we go. Okay. All right. And I'm going to thread it so that I have, I don't know if you can see this in the picture, but it's a little bit of a longer tail on one side versus the other. Then what I'm going to do, is watch out for that needle. So I'm going to fold one side over like this and then another side. So I'm making one folded corner, just like that. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through both fabrics, both sides of the fabric, I should say. And then I'm going to pull it through and I'm going to use my finger just to catch that little tail there and hold it in place before I go through again. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 times around and pull through. And that's how I make a knot. Do that one more time. Go through both sides of pieces of the fabric. 1, 2, 3. And pull through. Now I have my knot. Then push this through a little bit. I'm going to go and I'm going to fold this corner again on the other side. And this time I don't need to make a knot. I just need to go through each side of the fold once, wrap it around twice. And then we'll move on to the next side. Go through, make sure you grab a little piece from this side of the hexagon and a little piece from that side of the hexagon. But again, we're not going through the template, right? You shouldn't be grabbing anything on this side. And back through. And now I can take my pin out now. Okay. There, oops. Go through, oops, I lost my thread there. So rethread my needle. Okay, probably cut more thread than I needed. And I did not do a super great job trimming this one, so I've got just a small fold over here. That's okay, it'll still work. Again, this part is not going to be seen, right? Right through there again. And now this is our last one, so we're going to do a knot on the end again, just to secure our basting stitch. And we'll trim that. So now you have thread basted one of your petals, and we go through and we do that for each of these. So let me show you one more time on this one. Put that through there. We'll start pushing all the way through. I probably could have done a better job centering it. That's what I ran into trouble with the last time. Okay, there we go. Fold that down, fold that down. Through. Grab that little tail. Go 1, 2, 3. Pull through. And now remember, you don't need to knot all sides, just the start and the end to secure it. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go ahead and thread baste all 6 of my petal flowers, and then I will meet you in the next video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me here or via my website, www.moderncharmstitchery.com, or on Instagram @moderncharmstitchery. Thank you so much.